Hi everybody! So 3D printers, they have become super important. As you know, Luke's gone off to university to do an engineering degree, and every engineering department up and down the UK has a 3D printer and a bit of their course on 3D printing. Students yearn tragically for them. There's been a boom in the consumer market, and of course manufacturers are trying to get in on the game, and this is forcing development along. The Chidi that we got was the first printer I ever had that could print faster than I could actually make a piece of equipment. That was astounding, mind-blowing for me. So the market, the area of 3D printing is incredibly active with lots of things going on. Now, I bought this so that we could have a look at it as a suggested get into it printer, and somebody said, no, you really want to look at the Bambu Lab A1. So I did look at the Bambu Lab A1. Now this is £127. You can buy them cheaper. You can buy a gantry style for about £100. The reason I didn't recommend the gantry style is because that style has an issue. With everything zipping around without sufficient support, what will happen is that machine will just dance itself off your table. So this double support really works. But when I looked at the Bambu Lab, that was a gantry machine, and I thought, well, that's weird for that price. Now, don't get me wrong, it looks beautifully engineered, and I have not got a copy or reviewed a copy of that machine, so I am guessing when it comes to that. But it was £300 to buy the machine, actually £299, and if it's a combination of the filament printer, it was £400. That did not seem like an entry-level machine to me. That seemed like quite a lot of money. So I had a bit of a deeper dig into it to see if there was, a reason it was so much, and there is a reason it's so much. It's beautifully engineered. But there comes a level, at least to my mind, when you start spending money on something, what you're doing is like buying a car. You're buying a car because it's got more cup holders, and it becomes a question of how many cup holders makes a good car. And is the Bambu Lab machine just a machine with more cup holders at that price? Again, I don't really know, but I do know these machines really well, and what I've got here is an Elegoo 4 Plus. This comes in at £369, so it's kind of midpoint between the basic Bambu and the Bambu with the filament holder. So, question, is this as good or better than the Bambu machine? Now, the Bambu machine has a build volume of 180mm by 180mm by 180mm, which is pretty small. This has a build volume of 320 by 320 by 350, which is huge when you think about it. So I'm going to get this out of the box and we'll have a look at it. When we open the box, we're greeted by the packing material, which is substantial. So it's a nice strong cardboard box and a ton of very hefty packing material. In there will be the machine itself. Now, there is a tiny bit of assembly required with this. I suspect it's just to do with getting it all packed up. The first bit we've got is instruction book, and then some clips of plastic that we're going to have to put together, and the lead, and that is the filament holder. Let's get those out. This is the extra cooling fan that you supply because it prints at 500mm per second, and the acceleration, I think, is 10 meters per second or something crazy. But it comes out quite hot, and you have this additional cooling to blow directly on the head, because in here, this one has a 300°C temperature nozzle. The 300°C temperature nozzle means it's highly likely to be able to cope with things like carbon fibre, and they do say that the nozzle and the nozzle tube is all titanium, so you're looking at carbon fibre and nylon, not just PLA and ABS. This is the main frame section of it, and the assembly is bolting that onto the bed. So this Neptune 4 Plus stands slap bang in the middle of the Neptune 4 and the Neptune 4 Max. It's their next step up for that intermediate size, and it comes with a whole lot of stuff, of course. The software's on there, and incidentally you'll find videos on there telling you how to put it apart, put it together, and you'll find detailed instructions in there telling you how to put it together. But it's pretty easy. I mean, this big frame here goes in those 4 holes, and there's 4 bolts in there to bolt them together, and then we have to put the head and the fan on. on. It comes with Wi-Fi, it comes with a network cable, there it is, network cable, or you can use it standalone, SneakerNet USB, and there's a spare USB card to do exactly that. Now it doesn't come with a camera, with the Bambu Lab comes with a camera, but the rumour is the quality on it is next to useless, because about the only reason you'd want a camera is to, well, take shots so you can do a fast time showing the thing building. But who wants to do that apart from people who are doing YouTube videos like me, and that would be mightily useful. But on average, who needs to do that? To my mind, having a camera is a real cup holder. It's just useless. The next thing I think is really quite useless is Wi-Fi. These things are universally, there's the antenna for Wi-Fi. They all come with Wi-Fi. There's a network cable, so you can put it in the network. I can see use of that. I mean, if you've got 3 or 4 people working on this and you put it onto a network, then that'd be great because you could all share the printers. I can see the use of that. But personally, I just SneakerNet it. I just put it onto a USB and it comes with a free bit of memory, goes in the port in the front, and I print from that because I prefer it standalone. That means I can turn off my computer and the thing will still print. I can leave it alone and it'll just do its job. I don't have to worry about it. So I have never used the Wi-Fi and see no use at all for it, but I can see a use for it, so it's not as much as a cup holder as a lousy camera that takes rubbish shots. Anyway, let's put this thing together, which again, like I say, is a piece of cake. There are a couple of stairs with this because it's quite meaty, so that goes on there. And then that has these stairs that go on there to hold the whole thing nice and stable, because this will print at 500 millimeters per second with, I think it's a 2 meters per second acceleration, which that's pretty hefty. And some nice lead screws to take that frame up and down. Anyway, let's bolt that together. Okay, mechanically that's it together. Now I was thinking about doing a step-by-step, but honestly there's nothing to say about it. I mean, the little baggies come with numbers on. The numbers correspond to the pictures in the book and the pictures on the video, so just follow the book, assemble it like it says. This thing is the fan, and it plugs in there and it has an on-off switch. The on doesn't mean it's on. The on means that the motherboard will control it and the speed of it, but when it's off, then it's always going to be off. So when you flip the on switch, the motherboard will get control. Now when you put it in there, you'll notice the clip, and that's where the DC power comes in. And all of these clips need connecting. Again, they're in the book. And there's one there for the motor, but they only fit in one part, one way round, so just go around it with the book in hand, pushing those clips into the right place, and you'll be there. So regular viewers of the channel will know I've got a pretty good working relationship with Elegoo. So far I've reviewed the Neptune 3, the Neptune 3 Pro, the Neptune 3 Max, the Neptune 3 Plus, the Neptune 4, the Neptune 4 Pro, the Neptune 4 Max, and now the Neptune 4 Plus. And to be brutally honest, it's been a walk down the same street. It's kind of what you'd, or at least what I'm getting to expect from Elegoo products. They're nicely made, they're solidly built, and they're workhorses. Now, I've had them for about a year and we're coming up to the year review. And again, if you watch the channel, you'll know how much I use these things and how much I print on them, and they just blast away without me particularly worrying about it. Now, I do have the leveling process to go through, and it's a 121 point bed leveling setup that we have to do, which is a piece of cake actually. We'll do that in a minute. So we've got that to do. It's Clipper firmware, and I said 320 by 320 by 350. I was wrong. It's 320 by 320 by 380 is the actual build volume, so a massive build volume, and it's got a dual gear extruder head, so that's going to mean it's going to be able to cope with funny things like TPU, which is obviously very bouncy, and if you can't feed that directly you tend to get errors on. So with the dual extruder head we should be able to get a nice print out of that from TPU. But let's get it plugged in and do the basic setup. Okay, the minute you stick that USB in, this is what you'll get. Obviously there's the user manual that we just talked about, and there's the software we're going to need. We've got some models. This is the Buddha G code there for some reason, but if we double click on the models folder we can see Buddha, nutshell opener, flower pot, and Benchy. Some models here to print off. And then we've got the assembly video that I talked about before as well. So let's go to the software. The software is available in Mac and Windows, and we're using Windows. us, so we're going to click on this one, and it is a version of Cura. Obviously I've already got Cura installed, but what I need is the profile for the AV4 Plus, and that will be available to me here. You just follow this, yes, so that it can actually do it, and then it will pull that up, asking you destination folder, and clearly all you really do is next, 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 install, and it will just go through the thing installing Cura for you. And for me, it'll install the profile onto the Cura list so I can select it for my printer. Okay, when you click finish, it will automatically open Cura for you, and you can see I've got the Neptune Pro 3 already there. But if I click on that and add printer, add not network, choose Elegoo, and there it is sitting there as the Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus. Click on it, add it, and it will automatically add that Neptune to it. Now I've already added it before, so it's added a second copy for me. So if I manage my printers, I can remove that. There we go. Okay. Drop down menu, choose plus, and there we go. Now I like Cura because it's pretty straightforward to use and pretty simple to use. All you really do is click on there, and if we go to the USB drive, we can see there's our models. Click on the Buddha and we can open the Buddha as a 3D object, import it, and it'll appear right in the center there. And there we go, our Buddha STL, and of course we can slice it and print it. When you first turn it on, this will be the screen that you're presented with. That's the print, obviously. If there's any files in there, it'll show up. Hit the file and print. Then we've got settings, which will tell you all about it. We can go to the wireless LAN, which is where you set that. It'll search for the LAN. That's me. Now I'm not going to put a password in because I never use it, but you just enter the password and then it will connect you to the wireless LAN. It's that easy. Go back to there, and then we've got prepare and level. Prepare gives us this image here. Now it doesn't know how far the head is from the bed, so we need to make sure that it's in the right place. So press home, and with a bit of paper underneath it, it'll home this head, and we need to move that bit of paper when the head's found its home, and we can feel that it's got no grip at all. And you have 0.1, 1 and 10 millimeters. Hit the 1 or the 10 and press Z minus, which will move the head down, and keep doing that until you can feel a grip on the paper. When you can feel a grip on the paper, press that and then move it up slightly until that paper has a loose friction grip. And there we go, I can feel it's just grabbing it now. Back to the main screen, and then we want level. On level, press confirm. It'll return to home and present you with this screen. We want the auxiliary first. Hit the auxiliary, hit confirm, and it'll give you these 7 points. Home where it is, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These refer to these wheels under here that you can just see. With a bit of paper, press 1 and it will go to the first position. And we can move the paper to see if it's slack. If it's too slack, then we turn that wheel up or down to raise it up until we get just a grip, or move it down until it's just got a bit of a slack grip. So we twiddle that wheel until we get a little slack grip on that piece of paper. And we repeat that for all these other points. When you've done that, press home, it'll home again. And then exit assist leveling. It'll ask you to confirm, and it will automatically heat the bed and jump into the auto leveling. And this will create a 121 point map of the surface of the bed that it can use to take that out when it comes to actually printing. When it's done that, it'll present you with this screen, press confirm, and it will save all of that information as the map of the screen. And what we need to do now is recheck the Z offset. So if we press level again, confirm, prepare, and then Z offset, you can feel that it's still moving, Z minus, and there we go. For filament, hang a roll on the filament holder, feed it through the filament sensor. Press this lever here and push the filament in until you feel it jam. Prepare, and extruder, and load. It will heat up the head and then load the filament. You'll see that wheel turn, the filament will pull tight, and you'll be able to feel the filament being pulled into the head. And the filament will be extruded out of the print head. Okay, and that's it, we're ready to print. Now, as I said before, I haven't tried the Bambu A1, so I don't know what it's actually like. I mean, I'd give it a go if they sent me one, 100%. But would I spend £300 to £400 on one? Well, I have to say I wouldn't. I mean, why would I to get such a small printer when I can get one for the same price, more or less, that is so much bigger, as quick, and I happen to know from using Elegoo, a very reliable product. These have been running for a year from me, hard work, no worries at all. Now, people do say good things about Bambu, but they seem a little expensive for what they are to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful for you. Thank you very much for watching, and please do remember to like and subscribe.